Hello, and welcome to the Difference Makers. I'm so glad you're here. Imagine what it would be like to face bullying and be able to overcome that and take on the world. How do we learn to empower ourselves today? You're going to find out more with our guest expert, Tara Abraham, in our show, Empowering Youth. Tara takes on the world. But first, a special little intro for you. Hi, and welcome everyone. It's Lynn Sanders, your host at Difference Makers Media, and I am really excited to have Tara Abraham as our guest today. She's a UC Davis student majoring in communications, and her gift is to be she's a public speaker, a writer, and she's a peace activist. You're going to learn that it doesn't matter what your age is, you all make a difference. And today's program will show you how to empower yourself and take on the world. So without further ado, I want to welcome Tara Abraham. Tara, thank you for being here. Are you there?
Do you see me? Oh,
Yes, I see you. Do you see me?
I do.
Okay. Oh, good. All right. So I'm so glad you're here, Tara. You know, I was so glad that I got the chance to get introduced to you through our mutual friend Orly. And you have a very powerful story to share. So many youth today are really experiencing a lot of hardship in this time of COVID and being alone, and also having to deal with bullying from their past. Can you share a bit of your story and how you dealt with bullying and what happened to you that changed your life?
Sure, Lynn, thank you for the question. I went to the same school for about 10 years. It was a preschool to 8th grade. And during my time there, I did encounter some bullying, some group of girls just spreading rumors, spreading gossip, just being kind of mean, you know. And also then I didn't have really high self-esteem, high self-confidence. So being bullied was definitely, didn't help. Didn't help with that.
Of course.
But I think, and in high school was better, but also I was didn't have many friends either. But at least towards the end of high school years,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just I opened up more. I had more people to talk to at least, and also I decided not to limit myself.
Can I ask you, stop you right there just to ask a quick question? What caused you to change? What were you, could you be a little more descriptive for listeners and viewers, and what kind of bullying was happening to you and what made you change to take your power on, to empower yourself?
Honestly, I didn't put much really thought into my whole changing process. I think I feel like it was like a phase going into another phase, but I think what really changed is I didn't want to be left alone anymore. I didn't want to be alone. But it has changed my perspective on friends a lot. I mean, even now, it's really hard for me to consider someone a friend because I still get a little scared about being let down.
Sure.
But I'm working on that.
Sure. You've had a past history of not knowing who you can trust. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
People weren't, and I also have dealt with that when I was growing up. I remembered my 8th grade being one of the most traumatic years for me. And would you say your high school was the hardest time for you?
Oh, it was mostly elementary school.
Elementary school.
The K through 8.
Just for parents watching, what do kids experience? What were the kind of situations you faced in elementary school? Was it like name calling, or what did people do when they're bullying elementary school students?
I think, well, for me it was mostly, yeah, name calling, gossip, just spreading rumors about me. I
Right.
mean, I stood out. I was like, I mean, I stood out. I mean,
I mean, why and why was that? Because you look different than, I mean, we all look different, don't we, in a sense?
oh, I mean, I don't think it was like that way, but also I guess I was an easy target because of I was kind of like shy and stuff.
Okay. And so you carry that with you for years, and then you said in high school something happened. Maybe you just got, you said, tired of being felt alone. So what did you do to empower yourself? What exactly steps did you do to reach out to people? Tell us.
Yes. So beginning years of high school, I tried sitting with the group, but I don't know. I felt alone even though I was a part of a group. I
Hmm.
mean, sometimes people feel that way, like they weren't really conversing with me. So even though I was surrounded by people, I just felt still very alone. So then I just thought, well, it's better just to sit by myself then instead of being ignored. So then I just sat by myself. But then I think around junior year, I just decided to sit at this Japanese language learning classroom. I
Hmm.
just thought, yeah. I never took Japanese, but a lot of kids used to sit there, and then I did too. And then I kind of started having a group. Uh,
Wonderful.
yeah.
It sounds like you actually helped coalesce a group, would you say? Or bring people together?
I'm sorry. What did you?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I just
I
yeah.
said, it sounded like you brought the group together, or you made it a bigger group because you joined a group with other Asian students. Is that it?
Oh, I mean, it was a mixed. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
great.
yeah,
A diverse group.
yeah. It's just like Japanese is one of the foreign languages at my high school. Yeah,
I,
so there's a bunch of kids. Uh, I joined the group, so I think and then I mostly just sat with another kid, but then we kind of just talked. And a lot of times they would watch anime. I didn't like anime, but it was interesting to see that.
really. So what happened is you started feeling more connected with people. You ended up doing something, you told me, that was really taking on the world in a high school perspective. Tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us what you decided to do.
So in high school, well, I was cautiously connecting. So like I stopped having expectations in terms of socially. I'm I'm working on that, but I don't have expectations. I just take it out as it is, and I enjoyed my time. But then also I did end up getting hurt at some point in 11th grade. I ended up having like disc herniations. Those that don't know, actually it's painful, but
Yes, of course.
it's painful. It's like when so your spine has multiple discs, and then one disc goes like that, hitting the nerve, and it causes a lot of pain. And usually it happens when you're a lot older, or if you get in a car accident or something like that. I
You
did nothing.
you did nothing. It just all of a sudden you woke up one day and you just started getting herniated. You don't know what happened that caused it, you're saying.
Yes.
But something happened to your back, and that's pretty devastating too.
Yeah, at 16. Yeah.
So what did you do at that point?
At that point, well, actually, I made a friend.
Good. Go ahead.
Yeah. Uh, I made a friend, but also at that point, well, at that point I was sad. Also, I mean, I was in pain, and I even stood out a lot more because I was walking like this. I
Oh
mean,
my
I could
God.
not stay upright. Uh, and yeah, so
So how did you you had to deal with a lot, both physical and mental and emotional stress.
yeah.
So you made a decision though, you told me that you were not going to let that stop you at some point. So tell us what you did to move forward while you were dealing with this pain.
Well, I think I didn't want to leave high school just being like just another student, like passing out. Not passing.
I understand. Just another student without showing up.
Making an impact.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be just left in the crowd. So I decided that I wanted to do a speech. And I've never done really like public speaking like that, especially not at a commencement speech. So in front of everyone, like a
Right.
big group of people. That was in my senior year of high school. And I think that as I was preparing that speech, it gave me a lot of time for reflection.
Right.
And I think that reflection, well, that was a life-changing moment for me. I think just the time to reflect, but then also to share my story at that podium that at my graduation.
Yes, because you didn't just decide to speak to a classroom. You went from not doing any public speaking to being willing. This is what I so admire about you, Tari, being willing to step out and take a risk. Because it's not easy. A lot of people don't want to take any risk in life. And here you were dealing with your back pain, which was still happening, right? And you decided you were going to step out because you wanted to make a difference and impact lives. So tell us what that speech was about.
Yes. Well, when I did my speech, it wasn't just a speech, it was a proclamation, because I was declaring that, yes, we go through obstacles, yes, we go through struggles, but it doesn't define you. And you can learn from them and come out stronger. So my title of the speech was Be Gifts to the World.
Be Gifts to the World. What a beautiful title. And did
Thank
you
you.
share some of your story then during the commencement speech as well, what you went through?
Yes. So I quoted Oprah. I quoted Oprah. Why not?
Tell us,
And
and what did you say? What did she say that you wanted to share with people? Do you remember the quote?
I remember the story. I don't remember the quote, but I remember the story. So Oprah Winfrey went through a lot of struggles in her own life. I mean, she had, well, oh yeah, at one point she was fired from her first job because she was too emotionally I don't know, emotionally attached or something. So so she got fired from her first job. I mean, and also I talked about Albert Einstein. He got kicked out of one school that he was at. So I talk about these extraordinary people who went through struggles but came out stronger.
Yes, it's so true. You know, even our current president, President Joe Biden, he had a stutter. Maybe people know that now, but he decided that wasn't going to keep him back. So here you dealt with bullying and physical pain, and you weren't going to let it stop you. And so what was the feeling that you had after you gave the speech, and what was the feedback you received from people who listened to you?
Feeling was probably relief that I got it done. When I auditioned for this speech, I didn't have expectations, but I was definitely pleasantly surprised and then scared that I actually got it.
Right, right, because it wasn't as sure that you'd even get to be the commencement speaker.
No.
Got to do that. I want to save those words that you give, those affirmations, for the end of our interview today so we all can benefit, because you're all about empowerment. So tell us, how did that experience then transform your life? You said it was probably the most transformational moment, which I can understand, where you stood up and gave from your heart, gave your talk to the world, in a sense, your whole class and parents. How did that affect you now in college and moving forward with your determination in being an activist?
Well, first I realized I didn't answer one of your questions. I mean, other people also, like 3 years later after I spoke so that speech, I randomly would run into students here and there, and then they'd be like, "Hey, you said that graduation speech." So so it made an impact.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a very extraordinary feeling for me. And I think I don't remember your question.
So you were answering the question about getting wonderful rave reviews. The other question was, how did that experience lead you into becoming an activist today? You're majoring in communications, and I know you've got a passion to make a difference and empower others. So tell us, how did that experience then lead to where you are today? You know, what were your thoughts as you move forward after that?
So it was a couple of things that influenced me. I mean, I think that also the pain was a big influencer because I mean, I I could have easily just went in my shell because, well, it's easier. It's easier. But change doesn't come when growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. So
So true.
yeah, so I took those influences, and I mean, also with the pain, I also had like, it came into depression because, well, I was small, I was young. I didn't want that. It came into depression, but slowly I realized that we want other if we want other people to appreciate us and to like us, then we have to start from within. We have to feel that way ourselves. We can expect other people to appreciate us if we don't appreciate ourselves.
Wow, that is really powerful what you just said. Can you say it again? I want everyone to hear this.
You cannot expect other people to appreciate you if you do not appreciate yourself. It starts from within.
Excellent. What are any other tips that you can give others? Because what you just said is a basic truth. It doesn't matter what our age. We all need to learn to appreciate and love ourselves. And you're doing that just by your being of acknowledging people. And both Tara and I are in the same Standing Strong community with Elise Bridges right now, and learning to have leadership skills and sending out a positive message. Why don't we do that right now as an impromptu, Tara? Okay. Let's honor everyone who is listening to this at any time. Do you want to lead it?
I would like you to lead it.
You want me to lead it? Okay, I have one right here. Why don't we both do it together? This would be a new one, huh? All right. How about if I honor you publicly, Tara? All right.
Okay.
So I have a gift for you, Tara. I want to honor you. And this gift is a ribbon that says, "Who I am makes a difference." And I want to honor you because you are taking courage to come on my program and be interviewed and speak from your heart, speak your authentic truth that's going to touch people all across the world. You never know who will listen to this. It could be someone in your own backyard or someone in Timbuktu. But I want to honor you for your courage, for your love and compassion to make a difference. You are really a true, true, amazing soul. Will you accept my gift?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to virtually ask if I can place this on you. Do I have permission to place this on you?
Yes.
Virtually, it's going to go over your heart with the ribbon pointing upwards towards making all your dreams coming true. And I'm going to take the spark from my heart now and ignite the spark of love with the circle of cheerleaders at the back of this ribbon. And I'm going to ignite making all your dreams come true with the sound of bing.
Bing.
And that's the tradition that's been serving people, over 50 million people across the world. And I want to honor you as well. Thank you for making a difference.
Thank you, Lynn. That was very nice.
That was
I didn't have my cue card, so I forgot.
That's okay.
I forgot what to say.
That's okay, because you were the perfect recipient. And also, I want to ask you, Tara, because whoever's watching can learn from this. If you would take 2 ribbons and honor someone else with a ribbon, and then give them the extra ribbon to pass on to another person, would you be willing to do that?
Yes.
Thank you. And anyone watching can go to blueribbons.org and get 10 free blue ribbons and honor people, because we all need that. So I want to keep the focus on you now, Tara. And thank you for letting me do this. This was my first public Blue Ribbons acknowledgement to you.
It was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you feel good from it. So,
well, your energy always.
Oh, yours too. It magnifies, you know. So you have some tips. You just gave us tips for empowering others. Would you tell us how people can find you on your website and what you've been doing to volunteer to make a difference? And actually, I'm gonna just switch the camera over to so everyone can find your website. Would you tell us where your website is and what you're doing on it? Here we go. TaraTakesOn.com.
Yes.
You want to read that out loud? Because not everyone might be able to see the words clearly on the screen.
Yes, sure. It's easy to be bogged down by all that is happening in this world. I hope to make it easier by bringing injustices to light while providing insights on personal development. Because to better help others, we must also work on ourselves too.
Beautiful. So what happens at your website, Tara? What can people learn or receive from your website?
Yes. So on my website, I talk about social justice and also personal development. So you can see different posts that I write regarding those topics.
Wonderful. And can they subscribe to something on your website? Is there some place where they can connect with you?
Yeah, so on the sidebar, on the right sidebar, I have an option if you'd like to be an email subscriber and get updates on my latest posts.
Sounds good. You've done volunteer work yourself, haven't you?
I do, yeah.
You can tell us some of the things you do, and you've got credentials that we haven't even mentioned here. I would like you to share some of the positions that you've taken on. Just as you say, Tara takes on the world. Share what you've done, because everyone can recognize that we all can step out of our comfort zone.
One thing, I'm a board member of United Nations Association, Sacramento chapter. And actually, that's a kind of a story in itself. One lady in a Toastmasters group that I'm a part of, I'm a board member too, but one lady, I guess she saw something in me. So she randomly called me up and then I asked me to come to her house. And then she asked if I could help her with her nonprofit organization, One World for Love and Peace. And then from there, she introduced me to this United Nations Association Sacramento chapter, which, by the way, I had no idea was a thing. I didn't know that United Nations had like an association like that, and they have chapters around the country.
Wow.
So so I help. Her name is Nahed Kabani, and she also does a show as well, and I'm kind of helping her with that. Yes, so it's all about connections too. And like you mentioned earlier, I met you through Orly. And actually, I met Orly through LinkedIn.
Wow.
And then through you, I met Grandma Sparky, Halise Bridges. So it's really fun to make connections and learn from others.
So true. So you have done a lot of different things while you've been around. What are some of the nuggets of wisdom you want people to remember
Don't
about?
underestimate
Go ahead.
don't underestimate yourself, but also don't overestimate. Like, don't take on a bunch of stuff because, like, yes, it excites you, but then at some point you can also get what's the word? But then you can also get overwhelmed. I
Mhm.
kind of felt that, so I took some stuff out. I mean, some other stuff that I do, but I really felt like a breather. So know your limits, but also don't underestimate and don't sign up. I mean, do not sign up for stuff because you feel like you can't do it, because most likely you can. A lot of the battles we face is within our own mind.
So true. So you've learned to step out of your comfort zone and take on the world, as you said, and everyone can do that.
Yes,
So
believe in yourself.
that is so important. We all need to hear that probably about 100 times a day, right?
Affirmations.
Exactly. And that leads us to the powerful affirmations that I would like you to share with our audience. And I'd like you to really participate because Tara really has something important to say that can change your life. So I'm going to be the audience. And Tara, would you say the affirmations out loud for us?
Gladly, Lynn. Please repeat after me. I have a purpose.
I have a purpose.
My life matters.
My life matters.
I am a gift to the world.
I am a gift to the world. Wow. Just take that in, everyone.
It's true.
It's very true. And so I want to just say thank you, Tara, again for being our guest. You are an amazing human being, and I'm so glad to know you. And I wish you and everyone listening here the very best in your life and in your quest to make a difference, because we all make a difference. I like to tell people that we just get to choose what kind of difference that you like, each of us.
And don't forget who, oh, darn.
Yes,
Who I am makes a difference. Who you are makes a difference.
who you are makes a difference. Yes, check it out. Thank you so much. It was
Thank
great.
you. It's been a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.